Alright, it is now a 100% Porsche garage for the night. Kicked out my Land Cruiser Heritage Edition to a storage unit until I figure out to make room for the GT3 RS, which arrived today. Until I figure out how it's going to work under here. I was worried that these fins would make it too tall for the, because I don't have a lot of clearance. I could raise the lift a little bit and make clearance. See that little sliver above the GT3? But actually the way the roofline's shaped, this isn't actually as tall as the highest point of the roofline, so that's not a problem. But the wing is, the top of this wing's taller. So I'd have to park such that the wing hung out the back here if I was on the bottom. And then on the top, because of the garage, and the wing's so high, see it barely makes it for the GT4 RS and the GT3, I'd have to park it in reverse on the top, which is fine. I just got to make sure it all kind of works out. I'll work on that. The other option is just to park this in the storage unit, but I don't want to always have to do that. Vary which car goes there, whether it's my Land Cruiser or one of these two cars. So 992 GT3 manual, arguably my baby because it's a manual, and that just makes it so much more engaging and fun. 718 Cayman GT4 RS. Those of you who know Porsche know why this car is so special. Basically a mid-engine. It's basically a mid-engine 991, generation GT3, because it has the 991 generation front suspension, but it well, I shouldn't say it's a 991 mid-engine GT3, but in a way I guess it is. It has the 992 GT3 engine spun 180 degrees to fit, but it's got the 991 gen front suspension, whereas this one is a double wishbone front, the new gen GT3. Has less downforce, different gearing, and it's actually 101 pounds heavier than this car. 64 pounds heavier than the PDK version of this car. It's funny that a smaller car that's an RS is heavier, but they go to greater lengths on a GT3 to save weight. Even though Andreas Pruniger says he doesn't hold back, they actually do. They can't have this thing beating this on the Nürburgring. Otherwise, make that double wishbone, make it lighter, and then boom, maybe change the gearing, add a little more downforce, and this would beat this on the Nürburgring because this is more balanced in terms of weight distribution with the mid-engine. But all those little tweaks, more downforce, lighter, different gearing, more advanced front suspension, those little things that make this post a lower Nürburgring time. Of course, this has the lowest Nürburgring time of them all, and it's the quickest track car in the history of Porsche in terms of probably most any track, but the Nürburgring officially, this is the quickest Porsche ever, production Porsche ever made on the Nürburgring. They say on the website that this is 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, 3.0, but that really means it's more like 2.6 because they've tested these puppies, PDK version of this and this, as low as 2.7, and they say 3.2 on the website. They call it 2.8 even. It's still 0.2 seconds quicker. This is like a 2.6, 2.65, whatever, 0 to 60 car. Porsche is always super conservative. This is the craziest Porsche, production Porsche ever made. DRS on the wing. I'll do a more full video on this later, but it's crazy. I have videos on these, but oh, I've got it locked right now. You can see inside. All those buttons and technology, cover that in another video. But yeah, I fully spec this car out. Visoc, carbon fiber, you name it. Magnesium wheels, which it's funny, on this car you can get the Visoc without magnesium. You can't get the magnesium wheels without the Visoc. And this one, it's all one package, the Visoc. The wheels are coupled with the package. So I'll go over the car, go over the specs, the window sticker, price, all that stuff, everything you guys would want to know. If I don't answer any questions that you want, let me know in the comments. This car is 11 pounds heavier than the PDK GT3 and 48 pounds heavier, I believe, than this one, because that's a little lighter because it's a manual. You're like, why is it heavier. It's a GT3 RS, which means it should be lighter. A couple reasons. One, it's a wider car by 1.9 inches based on the 911 turbo body, but also all the technology they pack into it. So you consider all the extra technology that goes into it, and it's only 11 pounds heavier than the PDK brother of this. Or like I said, maybe like 48 pounds heavier than that one specifically. It's pretty crazy. Consider it's bigger and has a lot more technology. So, there you go. I don't want to neglect the Macan S, which will be soon upgraded to a Cayman Turbo GT, the quickest SUV on the Nürburgring currently. All right, there you go. The 992 GT3 RS is here. Welcome home.